Alright. Unfortunately, unlike what this creepypasta spin pasta article claims, it's not vandalism safe. It did copy a part of Windows 3D story. Anyways, the story is made by SpongeBob Incident. So, in ancient times, I found myself at Microsoft employed as a software developer, tasked with creating patches to rectify the persistent glitches that have haunted several Windows operating systems. And in the course of my work, I stumbled upon a computer containing the elusive Windows Zoog operating system. It was a time capsule of technological history rather than a relic of the past, and curiosity led me to investigate. I decided to embark on a mission to address the very issues that had once plagued this enigmatic software. And as I powered up the vintage machine, I was greeted by a startup screen reminiscent of Windows 95, but emblazoned with distinctive text. Microsoft Windows Codename Zoog. Wait, but isn't Zoog also the name of that programming block that once existed from 1998 to 2001? The Windows 9X flag, now in a violet tint. And even the startup sound invoked nostalgia as it emanated from the speakers, sounding like this. The desktop interface of Windows codename Zoog also bore a striking resemblance to its Windows 2000 predecessor. But this is inaccurate. This takes place in 1998, and Windows 2000 came out only 2 years later. Windows 2000 was still in development, and it was referred to as Windows NT 5.0. Oh, come on. Curiosity led me to fire up Internet Explorer to explore the digital landscapes of Windows Zoog. I made the browser's bookmarks. One link stood out, freecartoons.com. Intrigued, I clicked on it, expecting to find a repository of classic animated shows from the 20s and the 2000s. And that was when I saw the Lost Garfield and Friends episode titled Clever Creepiness. Did Lucy Glenwood make this? I yelled, afraid. Then I clicked it and full screened it. As the Lost Garfield and Friends episode Clever Creepiness plays, I found myself immersed in a bygone area of animation that was profoundly unsettling. I'll bring back a recording I did from Windows 3D. View was profoundly unsettling. A chair occupied by a teenage woman. Her wrists and ankles securely bound. The woman's distinctive features were unmistakable. A shock of vibrant orange hair, a crisp white shirt, a yellowish-brown belt cinching her dark cyan pants, and a pair of unassuming brown shoes. Her attire seemed eerily reminiscent of the background character from the Garfield and Friends episode Bride and Broom. The woman, her eyes wide with trepidation, stirred to consciousness. She surveyed her unfamiliar surroundings, her voice trembling with uncertainty.
Where am I?
She uttered, her words echoing with a blend of anxiety and perplexity. After glancing anxiously around her unfamiliar surroundings for a mere 5 seconds, the woman's attention was abruptly drawn to the distant sound of approaching footsteps. A sense of impending dread hung in the air. Suddenly, Garfield, the iconic orange tabby cat, who had unexpectedly appeared in the enigmatic Windows 2001 software with its unknown Garfield website, materialized before her. However, this was no ordinary Garfield. His distinctive black silhouette with wide eyes was gone, replaced by a more typical appearance. Yet the unerring absence of pupils in his eyes rendered him far from ordinary. Garfield's unbroken gaze bore down on the bound woman with a disquieting intensity. His featureless, pupilless eyes betraying no emotion or intent. The tension in the room was palpable, an eerie silence weighing heavily upon the captive woman. With palpable desperation, the woman finally shattered the silence, her voice trembling with anxiety.
Who are you?
She implored, but Garfield remained obstinately silent, his inscrutable countenance locked in an unsettling grin. As if to accentuate the unnerving silence, the camera abruptly zoomed in on Garfield's face. His grin widened, and then, without warning, he burst into a maniacal, chilling laughter, which sounded like this. The sound echoed through the room, its resonance imitated the stock evil laugh sound effects that could be heard in Sound Ideas. At the exact time, he began to speak to the woman in a menacing way. He said,
"You see, I used to be a Microsoft worker. One day, I stumbled upon one of those glitches in the software, and it was the last thing I ever did. It seized me, and I met my end, but I didn't just die. Something far stranger happened. I found myself trapped within the computer, and I became this. Garfield. I've been here ever since."
Garfield's actions took an ominous turn as he retrieved a mysterious button and pressed it. In the background, faint, foreboding steps echoed. Foreboding footsteps echoed. The captive woman's gaze darted around the room in fear, her anxiety palpable. And as the suspense mounted, the screen transitioned to a figure that was the very embodiment of nightmarish dread. This grotesque entity bore a grotesque resemblance to a frog, its eyes resembling black ovals with airy white eyes, dressed in a drab gray shirt emblazoned with the Windows 9X logo. The entity padded with dark gray pants and unassuming brown shoes. What was the most unsettling was the creature's humanoid features, including a nose and ears, adding an uncanny, disconcerting quality to its horrifying appearance. In that harrowing moment, the grotesque figure wasted no time in addressing the terrified woman. In a bone-chilling whisper, it uttered just 2 words. "You're next." And with shocking swiftness, the ominous entity lunged towards the captive woman, poised to enact its horrifying intent. But as the tension reached its zenith, the episode cuts to darkness, leaving only a black screen. Then the title card of the next installment said, Ethelbert and the Red Mist. The creators were Andrew Skinner, Clenny Brown, and Lucy Glenwood. The scene then panned down to a river beneath land where Ethelbert and Dilip are chatting with each other. Then Ethelbert found a red moonstone. He decides to take it and show it to Dilip. Ethelbert said, "Hey Dilip, I found the red moonstone." Dilip said in the voice of Mr. Krabs, "Ethelbert, where did you get it from?" Ethelbert even said, "I was digging for something when I came across this, a red moonstone." Dilip said in the voice of Mr. Krabs, "That's dangerous, Ethelbert, but you can't touch it." Ethelbert sighed in confusion. Ethelbert and Dilip hopped on their raft to the magic waterfall. They said, "Waterfall with magic spray. Take us both so far away." The location was surprisingly somewhere in Nigeria. Ethelbert said, "Where are we, Dilip?" Dilip said, "We're in Nigeria, through the land of the lost lion." They began to look around the trees. They kept going until they entered the cave. Ethelbert said in a scared voice, "Hello? Is there anybody in there?" But then Ethelbert ran away from the red mist-like cloud. Before he could escape, a red mist-like cloud possessed Ethelbert as he screamed like SpongeBob in the episode Graveyard Shift. Ethelbert was now known as Red Mist Ethelbert. He said, "You had cause for your actions. The red mist is coming." What the hell is a red mist? I muttered. Wait, what? What the hell is a red mist? I muttered. And then he pulled out Squidward's clarinet and said in an evil tone, "I use Squidward's clarinet for the red mist." "Why is he holding someone's clarinet?" Dilip said. He played the same clarinet music from Squidward's suicide for 1 minute straight. When he finished playing Squidward's clarinet, he took a red snowball that had razor blades and glass shards. "Ethelbert, what has gotten into you?" yelled Dilip. "No, it's time to die," Red Miss Ethelbert yelled in an evil tone. A225 threw a flashy snowball at Dilip and Red Miss Ethelbert, then killed them. He ran out of Ethelbert's cave and went outside. And A225 killed everyone as well using Squidward's shotgun. A225 ripped the rest to pieces while smiling evilly. The screen went black for 7 seconds. Afterwards, it faded to the THX logo in a dark background. Suddenly, the screams of hell from barren blood are heard in the background. Additionally, the deep note plays, which frightened me a lot and had a demonic effect applied to it. Just then, A225 appears to the viewer with a machete and a cleaver.
Sup guys?
He greeted in a mix of Mickey Mouse, Garfield, and Fonzie Buddy's voices. Furthermore, he said,
I have gotten rid of everything in Nigeria, as well as Dilip, Ethelbert, and his cousins, and all of the animals. To anybody who watched the episode, I'm coming for you all too. See ya deceivers later.
A225 then disappeared. He begins to laugh similarly to what Kifka laughs. His laugh sounded like this. Then my computer faded to black while the cursor stayed the same. And moments later, the computer screen flickered back to life, its stark black background now bearing a cryptic message. Install the patches. Together we can permanently end all of this. This time it flickered from that to the message, the audience is destroyed. Then to normal. Moments later, at the critical juncture, a conspicuous button materialized on screen, bearing the enticing label, "Click me to install the patches." A sense of urgency and responsibility washed over me as I guided the cursor toward the button and clicked on it. And then, instantly, the screen plunged into a black screen, and all traces of the digital world vanished. And in that eerie silence, A225's voice, laden with dismay and fear, reverberated from the abyss as a mix of Mickey Mouse, Garfield, and Bonzi, as he exclaimed,
"What's going on with you?"
At that critical moment, an installation prompt emerged on the screen, introducing the indispensable patch, affectionately nicknamed Vigil, virus installation and guard against intrusive lapses. The installation process unfolded over the next 5 minutes, and, well, a tense period during which A225's glitch-ridden form convulsed from the screen. His frantic warnings echoed, and advising against the installation of the patches and urging their retention. Despite the unsettling cacophony of protest, I steadfastly continued, allowing the visual patch to fulfill its purpose. And as the installation concluded, A225's digital presence from the Roblox game rooms low detailed. You mean the computer, though? Or the digital world? Began to disintegrate, his glitching form melting away. In a final desperate proclamation, he uttered haunting, parting words.
You will regret ignoring these capabilities for yourself, for you now are mine.
The computer gracefully initiated a restart, seamlessly transitioning to the familiar boot screen reminiscent of the software examined by the testers. Startup sound played in harmonious normalcy, and the desktop interface materialized without a trace of the prior enigmatic glitches. A reminder of the powerful and malicious force that lurked within the realm of technology. You may never know what awaits around the next digital corner if you chose not to install those crucial patches. But beware, for once you enter the realm of Windows Codename Zoog, there may be no escape from its malevolent grip controlled by A225 himself.